There was a time when Las Vegas didn't have to try. The flights were full, the lobbies were loud, and the lights? They never dimmed. But in 2025, something feels off. The airport is quieter, the casinos echo, and the strip, once impossible to walk without bumping shoulders, now feels like an empty stage. Is it the economy? The heat? Crime? Number? It's something far simpler and far more frustrating. Fees. From the moment you try to book a room to the second you check out, Las Vegas has become a maze of hidden charges, fine print, and unexpected costs. And for millions of tourists, the magic is starting to feel more like a scam. So what exactly changed? Today, we're counting down the 9 hidden reasons Las Vegas is quietly driving people away. Stick around, because number 1 might make you cancel your next trip entirely. Number 9. Resort fees that outweigh the room rate. You see the room rate? $79 a night. Click. Booked. Seems like a steal. But by the time you check out, the bill reads $156. And you didn't even order room service. Welcome to the resort fee era, the hidden charge that's quietly become Las Vegas's most expensive tradition. In 2025, the average resort fee on the Strip hovers between $52 and $59 per night per room. And it doesn't matter if you use the gym, or the pool, or the complimentary Wi-Fi. You're paying, no matter what. Hotels call it a standard amenity charge. Guests call it something else. It's like being told the appetizer is free, and then being charged for the napkin, said Laura Jensen, a tourist from Michigan who came to Vegas for her anniversary. We stayed 3 nights. The fees alone were more than the flights. And she's not alone. According to a 2025 Expedia report, over 78% of visitors to Las Vegas say they encountered unexpected charges on their hotel bill, and more than half said they would reconsider returning because of them. The trick? You almost never see it up front. It's buried beneath the fine print, revealed only after you've entered your card info. So while a $79 room sounds like a bargain, a $59 resort fee turns that same room into a $138 gamble before taxes, parking, or anything else. It's called drip pricing, and it's designed to manipulate your decision-making. By the time you notice the real cost, it's too late to back out. And here's where it gets worse. These fees aren't optional. Even if you just use the room to sleep, you're billed the full rate. That includes solo travelers, business conferences, and families who don't even swim. And the consequences? They're not just personal. In Q1 of 2025, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority reported a 4.2% drop in return visits. The number 1 complaint? Price deception. Because once trust is broken, loyalty follows. Budget-conscious travelers are now heading to Laughlin, Reno, or even Phoenix, where prices may be higher, but at least they're honest. Some boutique hotels off the Strip are even marketing themselves as resort fee-free, and they're filling up faster than expected. Las Vegas didn't always need to trick people. It used to win them over. But in 2025, the magic is fading one resort fee at a time. And if that frustrated you, just wait until you see what's happening inside the parking garages. Number 8. Paid parking that used to be free. There was a time when Las Vegas welcomed you before you ever stepped inside. You pulled into a garage, parked for free, and felt like a guest, not a transaction. But in 2025, that feeling is gone. Today, nearly every major Strip resort charges for parking. Self-parking runs between $18 and $25 per day. Valet? That's $40 to $50 a day plus tips. A 3-day stay? That's $100 to $150 just for leaving your car in a concrete box. And here's the kicker. These were the same garages that used to brag about their free and easy access. Billboards in the 2002 used to say, "Park free, play more." Now, you're billed before you've even touched a slot machine. Locals aren't spared either. Many garages now charge everyone, even Nevada residents, during weekends and major events. It didn't start with a bang, it crept in. One property added event pricing. Another said it was for security upgrades. Is brought cheese of Lidjago. Within 2 years, free parking was a memory. And it's changed the energy of the city. It used to be part of the charm, says Jerome, a rideshare driver who's been working the Strip since 2016. Now, people arrive irritated. First it's parking, then resort fees, then Wi-Fi. They haven't even checked in, and they already feel like they're being nickel and dimed. It's more than just a few dollars. It's about how it sets the tone for the trip. The moment you pull in, you're being charged, not for fun, not for luxury, just for existing. And there's a ripple effect. Conventioneers are adjusting their travel budgets. Tourists are choosing off-strip hotels with free parking. Locals are avoiding the Strip altogether. Some visitors are even skipping Vegas entirely, opting for cities like Scottsdale, Palm Springs, or Lake Tahoe, where self-parking is still complimentary. Others are ditching rental cars and flooding rideshare services, causing Uber surge pricing to spike during major events. In short, paid parking isn't just a fee. It's a decision filter. And many visitors are now filtering Vegas out. Because the moment a casino starts charging you just to show up, it changes the entire dynamic. The Strip used to compete for your time, your money, your attention. Now it feels like it's just competing for your wallet. And if parking sets the tone, the next fee sets the schedule. Number 7. Early check-in and late checkout penalties. Las Vegas calls itself a 24/7 city. But try arriving before 3 p.m. and suddenly the clock isn't on your side. In 2025, early check-in fees at many Strip hotels range from $30 to $75. Late checkout? The same or more? That means a couple arriving early and leaving late could spend an extra $150 just for a few more hours of rest. And here's the part that stings. Rooms are often already clean, empty, waiting. But unless you swipe your card again, you're left dragging luggage through crowded casinos or killing hours in noisy lobbies. We landed at 9 a.m. from Chicago, recalls Amber Lee, who visited Vegas this spring. The front desk said the room was ready, but if we wanted the key, it would be $65. We were exhausted, but what choice did we have? Hotels defend it as an operational necessity. But in a city where housekeeping runs around the clock, most guests see it differently, a shakedown disguised as policy. And the frustration builds quickly. Instead of starting the trip relaxed, travelers feel gouged before they've unpacked. Instead of leaving refreshed, they're checking out under pressure, watching the minutes tick down. Want an extra 2 hours to nap before your flight? That'll be $50. Want to avoid sitting at the airport all afternoon? Swipe again. It's not just inconvenient. It changes the psychology of the visit. Guests arrive irritated. They spend less freely at the tables. They tip less generously. And many vow not to return. Some are turning to boutique hotels off-strip or short-term rentals, where flexible check-in and check-out are advertised as perks, not penalties. The irony? Las Vegas built its reputation on generosity, free drinks, free parking, free buffets. Now it's monetizing time itself. And that's a dangerous precedent, because once a city convinces you that every moment has a price tag, the fun starts to feel like a meter running in the background. The truth is simple. You don't need to gamble to lose money here anymore. You just need to show up a little too early or stay a little too late. For visitors who once saw Las Vegas as a symbol of freedom, it now feels more like a stopwatch, counting down not to excitement, but to the next charge. And speaking of charges, the next one will leave you wondering if service is still about people or just about profit. Number 6. Mandatory gratuities and service charges. In most cities, tipping is a choice, a way to say thank you for good service. But in Las Vegas 2025, that choice is disappearing. Step into a Strip restaurant order a cocktail at a pool bar, or call for room service, and you'll likely find an 18 to 22% mandatory gratuity tacked on, sometimes before you even see the bill. And here's the trap. The tip line is still there, so unsuspecting guests often tip again, double paying without realizing it. "I ordered a $14 beer by the pool," said Kevin, a visitor from Denver. "The check came back at $18. Then the server handed me the pen and smiled at the tip line. If I hadn't noticed the fine print, I would have tipped twice." For large groups ordering bottle service, that auto-grat can mean hundreds of extra dollars before the first toast. And staff don't always explain it up front. Why would they? The system works in their favor. But guests leave feeling hustled. And in Las Vegas, perception is everything. It's not just bars and restaurants. Spas, salons, and even concierge services now add service fees of 20% or more on top of already premium pricing. A Kaksi Satavis, Kumenta, massage. By the time the bill arrives, it's closer to $300. Operators defend the practice by saying it ensures fair pay for staff. But travelers aren't convinced, especially when service standards are slipping due to staff shortages and burnout. Online travel forums are full of warnings. Check your bill before tipping in Vegas. Some tourists now avoid strip restaurants altogether, choosing off-strip eateries where prices are transparent. The backlash isn't just digital. A 2025 hospitality survey found guest satisfaction dropped 17% compared to 2019, with surprise charges ranked as a leading factor. For a city built on hospitality, that's a dangerous red flag. Because when the act of tipping, once a gesture of goodwill, feels like a trick, it undermines the entire relationship between guest and host. Instead of leaving with a smile, visitors leave with resentment, and they tell everyone they know. "Vegas is starting to feel like a hustle, not a holiday," wrote one reviewer. "We used to feel valued. Now we feel targeted." The Strip was once famous for making people feel larger than life. Now, it risks making them feel smaller, like walking ATMs, not honored guests. And if you think paying more for service you already expected is bad, wait until you see what happens when the price of entertainment itself gets hijacked. Number 5. Ticketing fees that outprice the show. Las Vegas has always been about spectacle. The shows, the concerts, the once-in-a-lifetime performances you couldn't see anywhere else. But in 2025, the most jaw-dropping part of the experience isn't the stage. It's the checkout page. Take a $150 ticket to see a headliner at the Sphere or a Cirque du Soleil show. By the time you've clicked through processing fees, facility charges, and convenience costs, that ticket often explodes past $200 for a single seat. Multiply that by a couple or a family of 4, and the price of one night's entertainment balloons by $200 to $400 in hidden charges. And here's the insult. These fees don't vanish if you buy directly at the box office. They're embedded everywhere. It's not convenience. It's pure margin. "We bought 4 tickets to see a residency show," said Martin and Alicia from Houston. "The advertised price was $600. The total was $820. And when we asked about the difference, the clerk just shrugged. This isn't about better seats or improved sound. It's not tied to actual service. It's a tax on excitement." Industry insiders admit it's become a major revenue stream. But the long-term cost is loyalty. Tourists who once saw Vegas shows as must-do experiences are increasingly skipping them altogether. They're opting for free street performances on Fremont or cheaper off-strip concerts, where at least the price you see is the price you pay. A 2025 tourism analysis found that ticket sales for mid-tier shows are down 12% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Not because people stopped caring about entertainment, but because they're tired of feeling tricked. The ripple effect doesn't stop with theaters. If visitors skip the show, they also skip the dinner before it. They skip the cocktails after. They spend less time and less money on the Strip, and the damage spreads fast. Because the Vegas promise wasn't just about winning at the tables. It was about splurging for one night, feeling limitless. But when even the ticket in your hand feels like a scam, the magic fades. The house may always win, but if the guest feels cheated before the curtain even rises, they won't play along for long. The result? Vegas doesn't just lose ticket sales, it loses trust. And if you think that's frustrating, the next fee takes it even further, charging you for every bite and sip inside venues you've already paid to enter. Number 4. Concession and venue surcharge fees. Step into a Las Vegas arena, theater, or sports bar in 2025, and you'll notice something strange. The menu says one thing, your receipt says another. It's called the venue surcharge, an extra 3 to 8% fee quietly added to every food and drink order. Not sales tax, not gratuity, just a mystery line item that makes a $12 hot dog cost closer to $15. At first, it seems small, just a few dollars. But over the course of a weekend, those little extras can drain $50 to $100 from a traveler's budget without them even realizing it. I bought 4 cocktails at a concert, said Jenna, a tourist from Phoenix. The tab was $96. Then a 5% venue fee was added, plus tax, plus tip. My $24 drink was suddenly $30. Operators defend the practice, saying it offsets rising operational costs. But guests aren't buying it, especially when they're already paying premium ticket prices, resort fees, and parking charges just to be there. The psychology is devastating. Nobody wants to feel like they're paying admission for every sip of soda or bite of nachos. And in Vegas, where indulgence is supposed to feel effortless, it comes across as predatory. Regulars have noticed the shift. 10 years ago, a visitor could walk into a sportsbook, order a beer, and know exactly what they'd pay. Now, travel forums are filled with fee shock stories, warning others to brace themselves for padded receipts. Vegas feels like death by 1,000 cuts, wrote one reviewer on TripAdvisor. You expect high prices, but not secret ones. And the backlash is real. More visitors are choosing to skip in-venue concessions entirely. They eat before arriving. They bring snacks. They avoid overpriced bars and restaurants inside the properties. That means lost sales, not just for food and beverage, but for the casinos themselves. Because when a guest feels nickel and dimed over a $6 soda, they're less likely to sit down at a $25 blackjack table later. A 2025 hospitality report revealed that venue, food, and drink revenues dropped 8% year over year, despite steady attendance numbers. In other words, people are showing up, but they're spending less once they're inside. And it's not just about money, it's about trust. When visitors can't predict what a simple meal will cost, they stop feeling like valued guests. They feel like marks. The Strip was once about generosity buffets, free drinks, loss leaders designed to make you stay longer and play bigger. Now, even the hot dogs feel like hustles. And if that sounds frustrating, the next fee starts draining your wallet before you even leave home. Number 3. Online booking and convenience fees. Booking online was supposed to be the future. Fast, easy, cheap. But in Las Vegas 2025, the opposite is true. Hotels, attractions, and even restaurants are now tacking on online booking or convenience fees, charges that can add $10 to $40 to each reservation. Not for upgrades, not for priority access, just for the privilege of clicking a button. Picture this. You find a midweek hotel deal for $109 per night. By the time you reach the checkout page, a vague digital service fee inflates it to $149. No extra perks, no explanation, just a line item that makes your bargain vanish. We booked dinner at a Strip steakhouse, recalls Jordan, a visitor from Seattle. It was supposed to be $220 for 2. By the time we paid, it was $265. The hostess said it was an online processing charge. I thought, aren't we saving them work by booking online? That's the irony. Digital systems should lower staffing costs. Instead, those savings are flipped back into profit, billed straight to the guest. And it doesn't stop at hotels or restaurants. Popular day clubs, attractions, and guided tours have joined the trend. A $75 ticket to a pool party suddenly becomes $95 after guaranteed entry fees, even when a stew die. For couples piecing together a weekend itinerary, hotel, show tickets, dining, and a tour, those small extras can add up to $100 or more before stepping foot in Nevada. The result? Sticker shock. Not at the casino tables, but on the laptop screen at home. And it changes behavior. A 2025 survey of Vegas travelers showed that 27% delayed booking add-on experiences due to unexpected online fees. Another 15% canceled activities altogether. That means fewer dinners, fewer shows, fewer impulse splurges, exactly the things that once made Vegas irresistible. It's not just about money, it's about psychology. When the planning stage feels like a battle, the trip starts on the wrong note. Guests arrive not with excitement, but with resentment. And that resentment lingers. It colors the meals, the shows, even the casino floor. Because if you've already been charged for convenience before boarding your flight, what's left to look forward to? Las Vegas built its empire on anticipation, the thrill of what might happen next. But when every click drains your wallet, the thrill is gone before the neon even comes into view. And if you think convenience fees are cynical, the next fee is even worse. It changes the very heart of Vegas, the gaming floor itself. Number 2. Gaming surcharges and higher table minimums. For decades, the magic of Las Vegas was simple. Anyone could sit at a table, $5 in hand, hours of fun ahead. Win or lose, the thrill was accessible to everyone. But in 2025, that charm is fading fast. Today, it's not unusual to see $25 to $50 minimums at primetime blackjack or roulette tables. Even basic games that once welcomed casual players now feel reserved for the high rollers. And that's just the start. Casinos are quietly adding gaming surcharges, small rules, and side bets that function like hidden fees on every hand. 6 to 5 blackjack payouts instead of 3 to 2. Mandatory $1 or $2 side bets on some tables. Even poker tournaments shaving off 5 to 10% entry charges before a single card is dealt. The effect? Your money disappears faster, and the fun turns into stress. I used to play blackjack with my buddies for hours on $200, says Miguel, a regular visitor from San Diego. Now that same $200 can be gone in 15 minutes. It doesn't feel like entertainment anymore, it feels like punishment. And the numbers back him up. A 2025 gaming report revealed that casual player participation has dropped 14% year over year, even as overall revenue rose. That means fewer people are playing, but those who do are losing more faster. It's a dangerous shift, because Vegas was never just about gambling. It was about the illusion of possibility, that maybe you could beat the odds just for one night. But when the floor itself feels rigged against you, when every hand carries a surcharge, every rule tilts against the player, the magic vanishes. The psychology flips. Instead of feeling invited, newcomers feel excluded. Instead of laughing at a loss, they mutter about being cheated. And for longtime loyalists, it's even worse. The retirees who drove in from Arizona for low-limit tables, the young couples who wanted to stretch their budget, they're gone, and they may never return. Vegas used to tell us, "Come as you are." Now it's telling us, "Don't bother unless you're rich," one visitor wrote on an online forum. And that perception is lethal. Because once the casino floor stops feeling welcoming, the city stops feeling like Vegas. It's not just a few dollars more. It's the erosion of identity. The house always wins, yes. But if the guest stops playing, nobody wins. And that brings us to the final insult. The newest fee on the Strip, the one that's turning loyal visitors into vocal critics and leaving them with nothing but a bad taste at checkout. Number 1. Energy and carbon surcharges. You've survived the resort fees, the parking, the surcharges on food, drinks, tickets, and even table games. But the final insult comes at checkout. In 2025, more and more hotels on the Strip are quietly adding energy or carbon surcharges, typically $4 to $8 per night. It looks harmless on paper, a small fee, framed as a contribution towards sustainability. But to guests, it feels like the cruelest trick of all. Because this is Las Vegas, the city of 24-hour neon, of massive air-conditioned casino floors, of man-made lakes in the middle of a desert. And now the guest, not the corporation, is being billed for the electricity. It was $7 a night, listed as an eco fee, said Claudia, who stayed at a mid-tier Strip resort this spring. 5 nights, $35. I asked what it went to, and the clerk said, "General operations." That doesn't sound like the planet to me. And she's not alone. Travel forums are filling with warnings about these green fees. Most don't explain where the money goes. Some are buried so deep in the fine print that guests only see them as they check out. The psychology is brutal, because unlike parking or room service, this isn't a choice. You can't avoid it without refusing to pay, and no one wants to fight with the front desk on the way to the airport. It's not the amount, it's the principle. When even environmental responsibility feels like a hustle, trust collapses completely. And that trust is the foundation of tourism. Once it's gone, so are the repeat visits. A 2025 UNLV hospitality study found that guest satisfaction scores dropped 22% among those charged energy surcharges compared to those who weren't. For a city where reputation is everything, that statistic is chilling. Because what started as a few hidden charges has grown into a full-blown identity crisis. Vegas isn't selling magic anymore. It's selling line items. From resort fees to carbon surcharges, every part of the trip feels engineered to squeeze the guest a little more. And for millions, the joy of Las Vegas is starting to feel like a scam they'll never sign up for again. So the Strip still glitters. The fountains still dance. The dice still roll. But beneath it all, the question lingers. If the city built on dreams is now defined by fees, how long before even the lights can't hide the emptiness? So there it is. 9 hidden fees, quietly draining wallets and slowly draining the soul of Las Vegas. Once a city built on generosity, Vegas now feels like a spreadsheet, every moment itemized, every guest a transaction. The question isn't whether the lights will stay on, it's whether the magic will. Which of these fees would push you away first? Drop your thoughts below, because this story is only just beginning.